Hi everyone, it's Rio Classic. In today's session, we're focusing on conditional access for Agent ID and its new capability in Entra that brings conditional access evaluation and enforcement to AI agents. Now, this capability expands the same zero trust controls that already protect human users and apps to your agents. Now, if you'd like to follow along in today's video, you'll need to be a global admin or a conditional access admin and navigate to entra.microsoft.com. Once you've found your way into the Entra console, on the left-hand service blade where we find Entra ID, we want to select and then scroll down to Conditional Access. This will take you to the Conditional Access policy wizard where we can create CA policies. Now, unlike applications that execute predetermined logic, AI agents make dynamic decisions and they adapt behavior based on training data, input, and environment conditions. This adaptive behavior requires different type of security considerations than just a static application logic. So how do we protect these AI agents? Well, we start to create conditional access policies, and Microsoft have just announced we can now use agent ID capabilities in conditional access to protect our AI agents based on risk or even custom security attributes. So in today's demo, I'm going to show you how to protect an AI agent, whether or not that AI agent be a user-initiated agent or even an autonomous agent. Now, first things first, what's the difference before we create a conditional access policy? Well, a user-initiated agent is an agent that acts on behalf of users, inheriting user capabilities and access rights. An example could be a support agent can read customer cases, update statuses, and send communications. Whereas an autonomous agent is an agent that operates with their own identity and permissions independent of the user. Once again, an example would be a supply chain agent that can query inventory checks, create orders, and even modify supplier data. So what I'm going to do is create a conditional access policy. This conditional access policy is going to be called block high risk AI agents. Now in the assignment scope where we've got users or agents, I'm going to select, and there should be a drop down for what does this policy apply to. And if you notice, there's now an option for agents in public preview. This will give me a few options. I can scope to all agent identities or selected agents. Now with selected agents, we've got a few options. We can select agents acting as users. So that will be the scenario where we've got user initiated agents. We can select agents based on custom attributes. So we can filter via custom security attributes maybe assigned to an application, for example, and it may be that we've sanctioned a few AI agents and we've also unsanctioned a few AI agents. Therefore, we could include and we can exclude particular attributes if needs be. Or alternatively, we can select individual agent identities, and that may be in a scenario where we've got autonomous agents acting on behalf of particular user accounts. And like I said, we can exclude. But in this particular demo, we're just looking at scoping to AI agents and allowing or blocking access to AI agents based on risk levels dictated by Entra ID protection in regards to behavioral analytics over time. So for this particular demo, we're scope to all agent identities. But like I said, we could scope it to custom security attributes, and those custom security attributes could be assigned to particular applications, being we want to sanction these applications, meaning allow, and we want to unsanction these applications, meaning block. Then we're going to select target resources. And for target resources, we're maybe going to protect all resources or just Office 365. That alternatively could be an option. So what we're saying is any AI agents, being user-initiated AI agents or autonomous agents that are leveraging or exchanging tokens with Office 365, in other words, we're going to either allow or block based on known risk. That risk being either low, medium, or high, and that is predetermined, that is dictated by Entra ID protection, in other words. So if I go to conditions, you will see there's an option now for agent risk. I can press agent risk and press configure, and like I said, maybe I don't want agents running either user initiated or even autonomously if they're marked as or deemed as medium to high risk. And then I can select the grant controls or the access controls and block access. Now, why are we doing this? Well, agents that make autonomous decisions can take harmful actions if compromised. A supply chain agent with purchasing authority could potentially place unauthorized orders, right? There are a few caveats when it comes to conditional access. Conditional access policies only apply when an agent identity requests a token to any resources. So in this instance, being Office 365, yes, those agents can exchange access tokens. However, if the conditional access policy is scoped to users or workload identities, which are not to agents, of course, this won't work. And if security defaults is enabled, once more, that will block the authentication and the scope of interest from a conditional access policy. Any questions, please let me know. That's just a quick video on the new capabilities of conditional access, or in which we can now protect AI agents. Thank you.